Grand Admiral Zyk-Thorax of the Galactic Hegemony stood on the command bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, with all 6 appendages clasped behind his armored exoskeleton in a posture of supreme confidence. The viewscreen displayed a small, unremarkable blue-green planet, the homeworld of a species so newly spacefaring they hadn't even colonized their neighboring planets. "Primitive," he chittered to his executive officer. "Begin the standard subjugation protocol. 1 demonstration should suffice." The hegemony had conquered 1,000 worlds across 3 galactic arms. The process was always the same. Arrive, demonstrate overwhelming force on an uninhabited area, accept surrender, and integrate the new species as workers within the great machine of empire. "Approaching bombardment range, Admiral," announced the weapons officer. "Targeting uninhabited landmass as per protocol." "Proceed," Zyk-Thorax said dismissively. He had performed this ritual hundreds of times. Suddenly, the communications officer's sensory ridges flared in alarm. "Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the surface." "Impossible," Zyk-Thorax replied. "Our stealth systems are impenetrable to pre-FTL civilizations." "Nevertheless, they've detected us. The transmission is directed specifically to this vessel." Curiosity piqued, Zyk-Thorax nodded. On screen, the view screen shifted to show a single human female in a plain gray uniform with no visible rank insignia. The background revealed nothing, just a nondescript wall. "This is Commander Helena Vasquez of Earth Defense," she said calmly, her eyes fixed directly on Zyk-Thorax, as if she could see through the viewscreen. "Your vessel has entered restricted space. Withdraw immediately." The bridge erupted in chittering laughter. Zyk-Thorax's mandibles clicked in amusement. "I am Grand Admiral Zyk-Thorax of the Galactic Hegemony. Your world is now under our protection. Resistance is—" "We're aware of who you are and what you've done to other worlds," the human interrupted. "This is not a negotiation. You have 1 standard cycle to leave this system." Zyk-Thorax's secondary heart skipped a beat. How could they possibly know of the hegemony? "Scan their defenses," he ordered sharply. The tactical officer worked furiously at his station. "Admiral, we detect no planetary shield grid, no orbital weapons platforms. They possess approximately 300 primitive fission-based missiles and a handful of orbital craft incapable of interplanetary travel." Reassured, Zyk-Thorax leaned forward. "Human, your species has barely left its cradle. You have no means to resist us. Surrender now and—" "We've studied your conquest patterns," Commander Vasquez interrupted again. "You're not here to exterminate us. You need workers, resources, and genetic diversity for your empire. But you should know something about humans." Her expression remained unnervingly calm. "We don't submit. Ever. Then you will be made an example of," Zyk-Thorax snarled, patience evaporating. "Weapons officer, target their largest urban center." "Admiral," the science officer interjected. "I'm detecting unusual energy signatures planet-wide. They're unlike anything in our database." Commander Vasquez's expression softened almost to pity. "We tried to warn you. Remember that." The transmission cut abruptly. "Admiral?" The sensor operator shrieked. "Something is approaching from the planet's dark side." "Velocity. Impossible." Before Zyk-Thorax could respond, the tactical display erupted with warnings. 300 small objects had appeared seemingly from nowhere, surrounding the Eternal Dominion in a perfect sphere. "What are they?" he demanded. "Unknown, Admiral." They're phasing in and out of normal space." A new transmission appeared on screen, just 3 words in text: FINALWARNINGRAUN. Zyk-Thorax had conquered worlds for 2 centuries. He recognized an unwinnable scenario: retreat, full emergency translation to hyperspace. But it was too late. The objects pulsed once, and a cascading wave of distorted space-time enveloped the mighty flagship. The Eternal Dominion didn't explode or disintegrate, it simply ceased to exist in normal space. 3 weeks later, a single escape pod arrived at the nearest hegemony outpost. Inside was Grand Admiral Zyke Thorax, his exoskeleton white with age, his mind broken from experiencing subjective centuries in what had been mere weeks of objective time. In his claws, he clutched a single data crystal containing just one message that would forever change the Empire's expansion policy: THEHUMAENSDONOT EEGOT. THEHUMANSDONOT EURRE DONOTRET URN.